The first time I saw the Bugatti Chiron Supersport, it didn't feel like I was looking at a car. It felt like I was standing in front of a machine built for one purpose, breaking every rule of speed, power, and engineering the world thought was untouchable. The Chiron Supersport doesn't try to impress you. It doesn't beg for attention. It simply exists, and everything around it feels slower, smaller, almost irrelevant. When I walk toward the front, the first thing that hits me is how the design isn't made to look aggressive. It's made to slice through the air at speeds where normal cars would start to shake apart. The headlights sit with a sharp confidence, almost like the eyes of something alive. The horseshoe grille isn't just a design signature, it's an intake point feeding a beast that never gets full. Every crease, every shadow, every opening in the front has a purpose. There is no decoration here, only engineering. Moving toward the side profile, this is where the Chiron truly reveals its character. The long-tail design stretches out like it's permanently in motion, even when parked. You can see how the airflow is guided, captured, redirected, and then fired out behind it. The C-curve line, the signature of Bugatti, flows like a blade along the body, guiding your eyes across the entire length of the car. At certain angles, the car almost looks stretched by speed itself, like the wind has tried to pull it apart but failed. Even the wheels have been sculpted not for style, but for stability at speeds humans have no business experiencing on a road. The rear of the Chiron Supersport is where the real story begins. The full-width light bar looks like a single stroke made by someone who understood simplicity better than anyone else. The exhaust system, four massive pipes split into two double-barrel exits, sits like the mouth of a rocket. The diffuser is so large and detailed that you could stare at it for minutes and still not understand how much engineering hides behind those fins. Standing behind the Super Sport feels like standing behind an engine that remembers every world record it has broken, and every world record it still wants to. When I open the door and slide inside, the world outside goes silent. The cabin isn't loud, flashy, or overloaded with screens. Bugatti refuses to follow trends. Instead, everything feels handcrafted, purposeful, and timeless. Leather that feels like it was grown for this car alone, metals that feel heavy in the hand, and switches that click with a precision you almost want to hear again and again. The seats lock you into a driving position that feels royal and aggressive at the same time. The steering wheel feels like the center of a cockpit meant for someone who doesn't just drive fast, someone who controls time. And then the heart of everything, the engine. An 8-liter quad-turbo W16 producing 1,577 horsepower, a number that doesn't feel real until you hear it breathe. This engine isn't loud for attention. Its sound is controlled, powerful, and strangely calm, like it knows exactly what it can do. The moment the turbos spool, the car doesn't accelerate, it detonates forward. 0 to 300 km/h feels less like speed and more like teleportation. And when you realize the car can reach speeds beyond 440 km/h, you begin to understand something. The Chiron Supersport doesn't live in the same world as other cars. It lives in its own universe. Driving it feels like balancing between control and chaos, but the car never loses its composure. Even at speeds where most vehicles would be fighting for survival, the Chiron stays planted. Aerodynamics, traction, and engineering work together like a well-rehearsed orchestra. The chassis doesn't wiggle, the steering doesn't panic, and the suspension doesn't break a sweat. You feel like the world is rushing past you, but the car itself remains calm. Every touchpoint inside the cabin reminds you that Bugatti wanted to create a masterpiece, not a race car. There's no ego here, no unnecessary aggression, just perfect, stabilized power. I could feel the weight of the engineering in every meter I traveled, every gear shift, every turbine whistle. The Chiron Supersport doesn't feel like a machine trying to show off. It feels like a machine that's already proven itself and has nothing left to prove. And the story behind the car makes the experience even deeper. Bugatti designed the Chiron Supersport to push the limits of physics without breaking the soul of what a hypercar should be. It's not about straight-line dominance. It's about balance, Stability at impossible speeds, comfort at cruising speeds, and beauty at any angle. This isn't a car you buy to show people who you are. It's a car you buy because you already know who you are. I walk around it one last time, letting the silence settle around the car. Every angle, every line, every curve tells a story of how far humanity can push engineering when it refuses to accept limits. The Chiron Super Sport isn't the fastest car just because of numbers. It's the fastest because of philosophy. The idea that perfection isn't a milestone, it's a pursuit. And before I end the review, there's one question that stays in my mind. A question that I want you to answer. If you had the chance to choose between unmatched luxury, breathtaking power, and engineering that challenges the laws of physics, which one would you choose?